Yep, we're going to be going for that weird trophy. Hello everyone, and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here finally back on GT Sport. Now, the 2020 season is sort of over and done with now, but obviously that means that Gran Turismo Sport moves back over to its exhibition style series. So I thought now would be the best chance to try and dive back in to some Gran Turismo Sport. I know the game's changed a fair bit since we last played it, but hopefully, yeah, it's always just a game that I watch on YouTube and then think, why aren't I playing it a bit more? But hopefully today, we'll wait and see as to how this goes on. But yeah, this is the 2020/2021 Exhibition Manufacturer Series Round 1 here from, I think, is it Dragon Trail? I can't remember the name of the circuit that we're racing at anymore as well. I'm pretty certain it is Dragon Trail for the first week of this series. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, we're just going to try and dive in and do a little bit more Gran Turismo Sport on the channel over the coming weeks and months here. We did quite well, actually. We qualified P4 for our first race back. We're currently, I think, B licensed at like 26,000 driver rating, and then S, obviously, on our SR as well. So we're fairly safe and clean still on this game at the moment. But hopefully, you know, this first race we can sort of learn the ropes again. I've gone with Porsche this season. Maybe not the absolute fastest car, but two decent cars that are both fairly easy to drive is probably exactly what we need as well to kick off the new season. But yeah, really looking forward to getting back into this. We do have a couple of other Porsches here. One I think starts 5th, the other there in 17th. But yeah, hopefully we just, like I said, keep it clean and survive this first race. 23 laps here from Dragon Trail. It's probably going to be about a 35, almost 40-minute race in the end. But obviously I know they have really tried to sort of up the length of these races once again. If we can finish sort of top 10, I'll probably be quite happy with that, considering we're starting P4 on the grid. But getting ready then for our first race back on GT Sport. We need a nice, clean opening lap. Obviously, we need to try and survive the death chicane as well. Obviously, that has always been a corner around this circuit that has consistently screwed me rather repeatedly in the past, so we'll certainly be careful through there. But yeah, this first lap, though, obviously rolling start, probably going to have to concentrate quite a lot. Dive straight into the toe of the Alfa Romeo just in front of us. I do quite like the look of the 4C GT3 variant here on Gran Turismo Sport, but it is lights out. And away we go in towards the first corner. The Alfa doesn't have the best top speed in the world. There's already contact between the front two. The Dodge Viper going for one of the most aggressive moves they've ever seen into Turn 1 on Gran Turismo Sport. Somehow no penalties for either of them though, so I guess they'll look at that as a positive. But yeah, I have seen a few clips on Twitter. Penalties on GT Sport now seem to make less sense than they ever have done. So we'll see if we get screwed by that curse here as well today. But yeah, I did obviously do a little bit of practice for this one. The Porsche feels quite nice around here. Obviously, I haven't really sort of kept up with the meta or anything like that. I know it was always quite a well-rounded car, good on its tyres back when I used to play this game a lot more, as we're already all over the back of this Alfa Romeo. Might be able to look around the outside in towards the hairpin here. It's a drag race as we head down the hill. Brake just after the two cones. The Alfa is going to massively outbrake us into the corner, but also massively outbrake himself. So it's going to be a nice easy switchback. And we're straight up then into the podium places. Rather happy with that. Through the death chicane for the first time. Through the first part nice and tidily. Through the second part just trying to get it rolled through. A bit of wheel spin. Guy behind in the Alfa doesn't quite get the best run through there, so we're going to give ourselves a bit of a, sort of half a second margin over him now. But already, the top two trying to make a bit of a breakaway here. Pole was, he got pole by like 0.6 of a second at the end in the Aston Martin, who is now in P2 after getting dive bombed at the start. He was just phenomenal on one lap pace. He was like a mid-36, which, yeah, he was like 9/10 quicker than me, and we were 4th on the grid. You would have seen the times obviously at the start of the video here. But anyway, we have survived the first lap. We're not the bravest under braking through the first couple of corners. We have got to be a bit careful of that. Maybe we'll see some aggressive dive bombs coming in from the guys behind. But if the top two can battle it out a bit, maybe we can try and close up to those guys. Obviously, we need to be in the slipstream if we want any good chance here. As again, guy just behind us, he's in the Nissan GTR. Just sort of shows the nose. Spot that on the radar as we go purple through the split time there. I think everyone is obviously going purple at the moment. Try and keep it nice and tidy. Obviously tyre wear as well is going to obviously be a very big thing in this race. I've got no idea about strategy. I saw someone online tweeting about the two-stop that they tried. I think that was Mick Hazalo, who's obviously rapid on this game. So supposedly the one stop I think is the way to go. But yeah, we'll wait and see. I mean, we're starting on softs, so if we can get these to maybe lap 9, then we could probably go mediums to the end. If not, if we can't get them that far, we might have to go on to a set of hards and just make those last. Or we just do a soft, medium, soft race and hope that that pays off for us. As yeah, German gets back up into the lead though of the race as we near the end of lap 2. But we're just trying to sort of drive within our limits in the early stages of this race. You know, to finish first you must finish and all that good stuff. As well as I'm sure the Dodge Viper, based on lap 1, is probably going to be really, really aggressive at any sort of opportunity that he's got at a move. A 38.3 though is only half a second off the top guys at the end of that second lap. Oh, only off the Aston. We're probably pretty much even with the Dodge there. It's, yeah, again, he tries to have a look for an aggressive move into the first corner. This time around, the Aston much, much wiser to it and slams the door firmly shut, as we are definitely under a bit of pressure. As you can see there, the GTR Godzilla all over our rear wing as we head down in towards this tricky double right-hander. Just try and keep it nice and tidy right through there. Get fairly good traction on the exit, obviously mid-engine rear-wheel drive, as all of these Group 3 cars are. Obviously critical, you know, that we get up the power nice and early, and it is something that is a little bit easier to do in the Porsche than in a few of the other cars here, as we head up the hill once more. This time around, the GTR's got a much, much better run through there. He's going to be able to look up the inside. I think he's going to be able to make the move work this time around. Pretty even on the brakes. We'll try and hook it up around the outside. No. Just slots in front of us. We do get a bit of a better run on the exit, but I think the GTR's got a little bit more poke down the straights through the chicane once again. Oh, you feel the dirty air that time round. Just sort of guess where the wall is. GTR doesn't get a good run though, so we're going to be able to have a look back up the inside as we head down in towards the final corner of lap 3 or so already. We've got a bit of a battle brewing on our hands through the final corner. Just roll on the power nice and tidily on the exit, use up all of that curbing. But yeah, we have survived once again here. We're probably going to say that at the end of every lap in the early stages, just because I really have got no idea what to expect. GTR back at the inside though as we head into the first corner. He probably doesn't really need to defend from us. We're rather early on the brakes into here. I know a lot of people are chucking it through those curbs. We go nice and tidy on the entry, hoping to open ourselves up a better exit. But yeah, I think the GTR's got a little bit better pace than me at the moment. But as long as we can sort of stick in the slipstream, hopefully, that shouldn't be too obvious here in the early stages. We've got a German, a Greek and a Spaniard just in front of us. 6 different nationalities in the top 6, and I think 5 different cars. It might actually be 6 different cars now as well. I'm not 100% sure where the other Porsche that qualified quite well is now slotted into. Through the top of the hill once again though, getting a good run this time around on the GTR. Obviously forget just how powerful Slipstream is on Gran Turismo Sport. Just closing up into the corner. Really just, you know, I think there might have been a little bit of a kiss there to the Nissan's rear bumper, but nothing all too aggressive or dangerous. Just try and keep it nice and tidy through the chicane. Oh, it looks like the Dodge has not had a good run through there. It's all going to get a little bit close. He's going to block the Nissan rather aggressively, considering he's got 1.5 second penalty. We're going to try and look around the outside through the final corner. So this battle for the last podium place has turned into a battle for P2. We get all on the grass at the final corner, but we do make the move work. And yeah, we're now up into P2 of this race. The Dodge might go for something a bit ridiculous in towards turn 2. I'm very much expecting that here, but we'll wait and see. Just to make sure. I mean, he's got 1.5 second pen, so hopefully he isn't going to try anything too outrageous. As we just roll the car through the first couple of corners. I think he tried to have a bit of a sneak through turn 3, but couldn't quite make the move work that time around. Now, all still all over the back of the Nissan. Just obviously don't want to do anything stupid. Don't also obviously want to destroy the tyres either if we can avoid it. They're holding up fairly well, so maybe a one stop is still the way to go. Obviously the Porsche was never too bad on its tyres anyway. Sort of what made it a rather good car. It was nice and stable, and yeah, rather good on its rubber, as now the Greek guy has had to serve his penalty. Both getting a little bit loose over the curves, as the grip, yeah, definitely starting to fade just a little bit here. So we have now got a 1.5 second margin of safety, but both of us racing fairly clean and tidily at the moment. Ooh, GTR gets a bit of a wobble out of the hairpin, but just going to be sat all over the rear wing. Haven't really got any idea where the reference points are. Obviously doing that, still just facing that understeer through the second part, but we just about thread the needle once again there. We've been rather lucky with it so far. Putting on his warning lights, not too sure what that was about. But anyway, down into the hairpin. Final corner of the lap. Try and get on the power nice and tidily on the exit. That's exactly what we've done. Actually have to get off the throttle just a little bit there at that final corner. We've got such a better run than the Nissan, but still, again, top speed. He's just got a little bit more than ourselves at the moment here. He's going to go defensive through... Well, he's going to set himself up for a defensive run into turn 2. Pretty even on the brakes. We're going to give him the room on the inside. We've got the room for the inside for turn 3. This is brilliant, clean racing between the powers at the moment, but once again, he's just got a little bit more poke at the corners over ourselves, so he's going to slot back in and hold on to his position for another day here. At the moment, we seem to be able to get out a little bit early on the power, but it's kind of working out alright for us in most instances, because then his extra bit of poke means that we can just keep it pinned into the S's once more. Just both of us being a little bit cautious there that time through. Hopefully we can get the car rotated nice and tidy there. Actually dipping the wheels over the curbs again. We've got to be a bit careful of that at the moment, as we've got a little bit of overspeed, 160 miles an hour. Down into the hairpin. Down to just 60 miles an hour through there. Obviously this thing's got a rather long first gear, which is rather useful to have, as well as, once again, through the death chicane. Being a little bit braver that time round, and it does pay dividends for us. We get a very, very good run on the exit. He's going to have to go defensive on us again. That's exactly where we want him. We'll try and brake fairly tidely into the final corner. He's going to sit on the apex. We're going to try go for the slow in, fast out tactic again, having to short shift up through the box, but once again it seems like he's just able to get the car rotated through so we can sit on the racing line on the exit. We just can't quite get the rotation. This time around we might not try and go for a send. Oh, he actually does brake a little bit earlier than us into turn 2. So we are going to be able to go side by side, but just a wash of understeer on the exit. I'm not too sure if we picked up a bit of dirty air there or what, but not able to get the run on the exit. Through the kink. Oh, taking way too much curb that time round. Just roll it through the second part nice and early on the power once again. The Greek guy is just getting a bit closer though. He's probably going to try and ruin our party just a little bit. Both of us racing nice and clean with each other. I'm not too sure the Greek guy is going to give us, either of us, the same sort of respect. Through the top of the hill once again, the GTR gets all kinds of loose. We're going to try and look to the outside down the hill. He's probably going to brake a little early this time round. Can't quite hook it up around the outside. Might be able to get a switch back on him though this time round. We are going to be side by side. We are just about going to have the legs on him. We'll make sure we give him the room. He's not going to do the same that time round. We get a huge punt from the Dodge, which hasn't helped us. Big bits of contact there. That's given us a little bit of damage, which is not what we needed. That's going to really, really cost us down this straightaway there. So that was really, yeah, not what we wanted in this race. The Dodge is going to completely come across us there, and yeah, I'll be honest, I was sort of half expecting it from the GTR, but still not too happy here, as I think the Dodge is going to dive it in. I think damage should hopefully sort itself out rather quickly once again in this race. We'll wait and see there. There we go. The car's good as new once again. It is one of the good little things about GT Sport. You sort of get penalised for a little bit, but it doesn't completely ruin your race, and you're not sat in the pits for 15 minutes either. Not the most realistic, but still, you know, this game wasn't... You know, obviously it's designed to be fairly realistic, but also does a fantastic job at creating some brilliant racing as well, or has the potential to, as we go full opposite log through there. The tyres are definitely shot now. We're going to have to pit end of this one. But we will go on to a set of the mediums and see how... Actually, no, we might have to go hards, just try and get them to the end. I don't know if the hards can go twice as far. They should be able to go twice as far as the softs, I would have thought. But we'll wait and see. Getting a good run, though, up the top of the hill, past the Alfa Romeo. I sort of forgot we battled him at the start of the day here. We're going to have a look to the outside. Brake just at the 2 cones. Alpha's going to slot in just in front. We're going to try and get the power down on the exit. We're probably not going to be able to go too wide once again like we did last time round. No, we definitely are not. Through the chicane, the Alpha clearly just struggling a bit with confidence. And that's probably why. Not a very good run there for Mr. Alfa Romeo. We should be able to get back around him as we head in towards the final couple of corners. Obviously, like I said, we do need to remember to pit this time round. Ooh, a little bit of contact there. I think he was expecting us to turn in a bit earlier than we opted to there. We're going to dive it in. The GTR, though, is going to stay out for another lap here. So that's rather interesting coming from him. We're going to go hard. Obviously, we're going to top up the fuel as well. Hopefully get to the end of the race. A couple of people on medium, so perhaps we have gone for a bit of a bot strategy. But let's see where we come back out. Hopefully not too near the dodge in the ideal world there. But yeah, back on a set of hard compound tyres. He's actually, yeah, a good 5 seconds up the road already there, so he's pulled out a whirly of an undercut. But now, we've got a little bit of clear air. But we need to try and get these hards working. They didn't feel too bad in free practice, but we'll see how they handle with the wear and all that. Obviously, you don't lose too much time through pit windows on GT Sport, but 14 laps, the mediums might have been able to do it, but not too optimistic. We'll just try and stay out of the pits for as long as possible in this race there. It's only 15 seconds off the leader, so we might actually get back around the GTR, depending on how these tyres hang up over the next couple of laps. Struggling a bit to get the rotation through the S's. It'll take a couple of laps to try and get them working, obviously get confident with them, everything like that. But I think the Alpha is still up in P3. I've got no idea how he's managed that. But fair play to him if he has. I'm pretty certain, yeah, that is him up in P3. Did he not pit? Is the best... Yeah, no, I'm guessing he didn't pit, in fact, so perhaps I've been a bit of an idiot as well here through the chicane once more on our new hard compounded tyres. That was rather close. It's horrible. You've got to get as close to that wall as you dare to get the best run, because you don't get sort of the bounce back up from the car. But still, yeah, rather scary to try and do it lap after lap in towards the final corner. Just keep it nice and tidy. Roll on the power, so much understeer at the final turn. The GTR is in. I'm intrigued to know what tyres he's going to go on to in this race. But we are going to be comfortably out ahead of him as well here. So we've now got a Croatian starting to close in on this. I think that's... Is that a Viper again? I think it might be in this race. But yeah, we're in it for the long haul now. Just got to try and play our own race, play our own strategy. Really just see what the pace is like. Got no idea how those top guys are able to get these tyres so far into the race. Perhaps that's where those cars are a bit stronger than ourselves, as yeah, that is definitely a Viper, and it is definitely all over the back of us as well as we head over the brow of the first hill. Just, you should be able to get a good rod in this down into the hairpin, I would have thought. Unless he messes it up. We'll wait and see. Yeah, he's going to be able to get a much better run there. So, although we're going to have to accidentally go defensive on him, we're probably just going to brake early into the corner. He's just going to give us a big old squeeze, but we're just going to slot in behind for now in this race. We'll take the slipstream. He thanks us as well. Like I said, we're not really battling these guys at the moment. We're on a very, very different strategy plan in this race. It might not work for us, but that's all part of the learning curve once again on GT Sport there. Getting a fairly tidy run through that corner as the leader is still going to start for another lap. So perhaps, yeah, the soft medium straight is possible for the top guys, as we're still not really taking any time out of them on our fresh hards. The Alpha is going to dive it in though. So we are now going to be ahead of him once more in this race. Onto a set of mediums, so he's going to be quicker than us between now and the flag. But yeah, we've certainly got our defensive driving cut out. No, he's gone on to a set of hards, so he couldn't even make the softs last as long as we thought he could. So perhaps that's actually what the leader did. He wasn't on softs at the start of this race, and just obviously was at that superior pace over everyone whilst we battled each other behind him. We got 3 seconds over the GTR though. We need to try and hold on to that, or as much of that for as long as we can in this race. Dodge there, just kicking up a little bit of grass. We're going to do the same on the exit almost, but we need to try and stay in that slipstream. It's about a 1 second slipstream margin on GT Sport. Try and get the car rotated through fairly nicely. Just getting a little bit of understeer, just hints of it from the harder rubber there, but it's not wearing too badly at the start of this stint either. Yeah, leader still out there at the moment, so maybe he's trying to go medium hards in this race. Ooh, we don't get a particularly good run through there. Probably putting a bit more strain through the tyres than we wanted, but we're still losing time to the leader, so I'm guessing he was on mediums at the start of this race. Chuck it through, that was a good line that time round. We're going to be able to make up a little bit of time once again, as they're actually pulling away from the Spaniard behind us. It's all starting to look up just a little bit here at this midway stage of the race. Once again, that is way too much understeer. Look at how much steering we're having to put through there. It's going to absolutely shredded the front, which is not what we needed, but yeah, we're still just, like I said, focusing on our own race a bit. We can set clean, consistent, low 39s, maybe get a few into the 38s if we don't make any mistakes. Sort of drag that pace to the flag. I'd probably be rather happy with how this race turns out. Just a bit conscious of how much tyre noise there is at the moment. That's normally a good indicator of whether you're pushing the tyres just a bit too much as well here. But yeah, at the moment, ooh, that's not going to help. No, we get it all collected up in the end. A little bit ragged at the moment. We need to try and settle down into a bit of a better rhythm once more. But still, just trying to learn the game, trying to learn what the car's capable of. Everything like that. As we're now over the halfway stage. Certainly felt like a bit of a marathon so far. I just can't quite see. I think we're at 19 minutes, just under 20 minutes on the clock so far. But it certainly has been, yeah, a good little race in the first half. I sort of like these 40 to an hour long races. You know, the GT Sport does, obviously most F1 50% races are about that long. Obviously iRacing, IMSA, ILMS, VRS, all that sort of length as well. Really probably just sort of like, I mean, they are really referred to as sort of sprint races nowadays, but yeah, sort of that race length that I quite like as well. Enough for you to have an impact, but not too long, but things will probably end up going wrong for you. Or, I mean, they still do fairly often, but yeah, this is just the thing. I want to be able to just jump into more games. As soon as I say that, nice double correction there through the final corner. Yeah, I just want to be able to jump into more games and be able to sort of run for 40 minutes to an hour with no major mistakes. All that good stuff as well here. And hopefully obviously bring you guys more content from that side of things as well. Anyway, just still trying to keep our head down at the moment. I wonder if the Greek guy's going to have to pit again in this race. He's got a good 10-second margin over us, I would have thought at the moment. Might be a little bit more than that, actually, at this stage of the day. But I think we're still in net podium at the moment. Don't think the man in his Dodge in P3 is going to be too much of a threat at the end, unless he's somehow going to the flag from here. But, oh, saying that, he makes a big, big mistake as we head down the hill here. Not the best place to have a bit of a wobble. He's still demanding a lot for the tyres through the next couple of corners, but we have got to be careful of the guy behind as well. He's taken a few tenths out of us on that last lap, so he's clearly just getting back into the groove, as you would expect. As this Dodge man, yeah, just struggling a bit, I think, at the moment. We've got to be careful. He bins it and takes us with him. Hopefully he'll ghost, but I never quite trust the ghosting system on any game at this point, in all honesty. Through the death chicane. Ooh, fairly tidy. Well, the back end tried to lift up just a little bit that time round, but we held on to it fairly nicely. Yeah, the Spaniard, we probably have got to start monitoring that gap. He's not far behind us. Really just trying to get the front end rotated through that final corner. Nice line that time round. See, he gains a bit on the entry, but then we just pull away a little bit on the exit before his inevitable power advantage comes in. We got a Turkish guy just behind him who's trying to apply the pressure, so maybe they're going to work together to get a little bit closer to us as well here. Back down in towards the first braking zone. Just get it rotated through. There's a cone there which actually sort of works as a nice little reference point. I want to see where it's off the racing line, but you can still sort of spot it. You work out where you are relative to the exit of the corner. No one take that out for us, please. But yeah, we are staying fairly close to the Viper in front, not losing too much to the guy behind. this is sort of a weird thing on GT Sport. You'll get 6 laps where it's absolute carnage, and then you'll all pit at slightly different times, and it'll have such a big difference. But then you could all end up right with each other again at the end of a race. Just the way GT Sport works. We found a couple of tenths so far this lap. Things you love to see down into the hairpin. Just trying to race within our limits still at this stage. The hards are holding up really, really nicely. So perhaps, yeah, the top guy is probably going to be able to go hard softs in this race. That was close again. Hopefully pulled away a little bit of time from the guy behind. Yes, we definitely have. The gap's now back over 3 seconds. I don't know if they've been battling a bit or what over this lap as well, which might have helped us. That was another nice line through the final corner. There we go. P2, the Greek guy, into the pits again. Where is he going to come out in this race? He's still going to be out in P2, so yeah, he's just got very, very good pace at the moment over the rest of us. Turkish guy just behind dives it in, so he was actually on a set of softs. He was closing up rather rapidly, so hopefully we're still in a bid for the podium places. A little bit of a wobble through there and through there as well. Just keep your foot to the floor and pray that you come out the other side still in one piece. But the leader still yet to pit in this race, so he must have started on hard somehow, or perhaps he was on mediums and has just been able to take him really, really far into this race. You never quite know for sure, but he's done a fantastic job up to this stage of the day. Just absolutely dominated this first round of the FIA 2020-2021 Exhibition Manufacturers Series. Yeah, hopefully we can just do a few more of these. It's nice to always get into a routine with them a bit more and see what we can muster up, because, you know, it is good racing experience at the end of the day. I certainly feel over the last 2 years probably now, I've just got a lot worse at racing in general. I used to be able to just hop in most things, get to grips with it fairly nicely, and then just able to rag some laps around. But yeah, really have sort of lost that ability in the last couple of years. Don't really know why, but it's just, I think, a lack of playing and things like that. Obviously I did do a lot of racing back in the day as well. I'd basically just be doing proper organised league races every night of the week. And nowadays, well, I think I race 3 times a week on F1 nowadays. As there we go, the Croatian into the pits, so we are going to be back into the podium places with just 8 laps to go here from this race. We're building up a little bit of a margin. Actually, yeah, the Spaniard just behind us into the pits as well, so that's going to give us a little bit of safety. It's now, is that the Croatian straight back out? Still only just 4 seconds behind us. That's not good. Gonna have to have a defensive work cut out now then. If that is the case, the Italian back up into 5th, so this might actually be a bit of a defensive drive to the flag, because this guy is probably going to be rather quick over these next couple of laps here. I definitely think the Greek guy had some very, very good pace in the car, but just never able to quite utilise it. Wasn't quite consistent enough like the guys around him here so far, but probably just a bit too aggressive for his own good as well in a few instances, or at least the impression I've got from him from this race so far. But yeah, the Croatian then 4.2 behind us, 7.5 laps to go. Surely he's going to be all over the back of us rather quickly in this race. I would like to defend our podium. I would like to try and bring this home. Be a nice start to the season, but we shall wait and see. Still a few more laps. Tyres can do a lot of things in that time. A little bit of a wobble that time round. Not the best run through that. I'm sure on fresh rubber he's going to be a lot more confident. No, actually losing a bit of time to us. So really we're not too bad through there still at the moment. Try and just chuck it down. Really try and get it back down that final gear. Quite late actually into the corner. You just sort of want to be controlling your way all the way through, and then just focusing on working on the exit. Obviously, like I've said before, like we've spotted in this race, this thing doesn't have the most poke in the world. As the Croatian gonna pit in again here. So I don't know if hards are maybe a mandatory tyre that you've got to run in this race. I didn't even realise. I'm not too sure. So maybe the Greek guy's got it wrong. Unless, of course, we've got to use mediums, and then we've got it wrong. I've got no idea. Perhaps I've messed up somewhere in this race. Oh god, that's definitely a mess up in this race. It's always those little things I forget to check on GT Sport there. So perhaps that was his strat. Perhaps we've actually got to use all 3 No, I don't think that's the case. So it might be harder mandatory. But we've got to try and get to the flag now anyway. So we'll wait and see. These tyres are definitely starting to go off just a little bit though, especially after that mistake. Probably hasn't helped us out much either. We'll see when the leader finally dives in, what tyres he was on. Unless, of course, he is making the no-stop work by some sort of miracle. He's still stretching his advantage over the rest of the field. Absolutely rapid from start to lap 17 so far. No, he was on... Was he on softs all that time? There's no way to soft 17 laps here. I don't believe that. He's gone on to mediums, so still not too sure what the mandatory tyre is in this race, unless I missed something at the start. But I don't believe he's taken soft 17 laps here. I just can't see a world in which that's possible at the moment. But the gap should come back down to him as well. There we go. Hovering at just under 20 seconds now. Obviously, I think it's a 20-second penalty if you don't use the mandatory tyres. So if they've messed up, we might be within a shout of the dubs. If not, I'm probably going to be way down the order at the end of the day. I mean, we might still get P3 unless we've messed up. Who knows at this stage of the day? Someone else on a set of mediums. No idea what tyres they're going on to. I would hope it's not mediums that are mandatory, but most people around us have used them. We might just pit in heading onto the final lap. Actually, we might as well just pit now onto those mediums. Then we've used every set of tyres just in case. I just don't want a pen in our first race of the season, but again, probably should have checked that before we dived into it. Always useful to know what tyres you've got to use in a race here. So yeah, we will pit in the end of this one then. Onto a set of mediums to the flag. Hope that they last. These hards probably could have gone the distance, but we'd rather pit and lose 10 seconds than lose 20 seconds through butchered strategy. Through the chicane once again. That was alright. Fairly tiny. Don't know what our PB is this race either. How far off that 37.6 we are from the Greek guy. But anyway, yeah. Let's try and just get this final corner nice and tidy. How much spare fuel we got? I don't think we got much. 5.3 laps. So yeah, we basically got no spare fuel either. But oh, I've clicked the wrong tyres. We better not. It better not be mediums. I've made a stupid blunder. It better not be mediums. I better not balls that up. I mean, we're going to be right behind these three, so we should have a bit of drama towards the end. It's going to be rather close, actually, between myself and the Porsche there, but he's going to slot in just ahead of us. So we're down to P7. It better not be mediums, otherwise I'm going to be so tilted with myself for messing that up. But we should get a spicy few laps in now, because we're going to have a lot more grip than all of these guys around us. Be able to get the power a lot easier than the Porsche. Come on, get the run down the hill. Hopefully he's just going to bail out that. Understands we're a lot quicker. Give a bit of a squeeze, but we made the move work. It better not be mediums. I'm going to be so tilted if I balls that up. But yeah, we are past. A big aggressive battle going on just in front of us. Chuck it over the curbs. 2-second penalty for Alfa Romeo. Was not, I'm sure, what he wanted in this race. Where on earth is he going at the moment? Come on. What are you doing, man? Don't know if he's got damage or what, but we got a good run. So we're up another spot. Turns in on us a little bit there. Not too sure what that was all about. Perhaps we just squeezed him a bit more with his damage. Don't know for sure, but anyway. Let's just focus on taking time out of these guys around us still. Might be able to now be within a shot fastest lap. We'll wait and see. But yeah, still 27.5 off the leader. Let's just see what lap time we can get in now. A 37.5 actually by the guy just in front of us. It's current fastest lap of the day. Bit too brave into turn 1. Clip the curbs on the exit and actually get quite a good run out of the corner there. Too shabby. Let's tap the curbs through here. Break just at the double cones. A little bit too early actually on the anchors that time round, but we get a nice run on the exit nonetheless. 0.003 of a second down. Don't know if that's on our PB or the race PB. Or the race best. Oh god, where are we going? Just clipping those curbs a bit too much. Only got 3 and a bit laps to go here. We battle for the final podium place seems to all just be closing in on each other. Can obviously afford to stretch these tyres, pushing for the limits. 2700ths up on our personal best through this chicane. No, oh, that was close. That was close. Not a very good run, but we didn't damage the cap. These two better battle. Otherwise, we might be out of this. I think the Croatians just got a bit too much pace on still fairly new, fresh rubber. Nice run at the final turn. Just the extra grip that these tyres give you is quite insane, but GTR, still another fairly quick car down the straight. So 38.6, 0.3 off our PB. So we definitely could probably get close to that fastest lap then. Ooh, big contact between those two in towards someone. That certainly helps out. And that's a penalty for the GTR. I'm sure he's a bit gutted with that one, but it might allow us to get a little bit closer as well as we head through the kink. All seems to be getting a bit feisty in the dying stages of this race. Are we going to be able to get around the GTR? I think we are. Yes, we do. Oh, he tries to turn in on us a bit. Not too happy with that. But now, we've only got the Dodge in front. So we need to try and push like crazy and close up the gap. Obviously, his tyres are going to start to fall off just a bit before ours do. But we've got 2 laps to go here from Dragon Trail. It's been a very good little race so far. The GTR, once again, tries to stick the nose at the inside and want that to try and drag him along to the Dodge, but I don't really want to cost myself time. There we go, we're purple this time round. So we head through the chicane. Whoa, that was good. Pretty much the maximum I was going to be able to get through there that time. I'm sure the GTR might try to follow us and realise there was no chance he was going to be able to quite get it the same way we did. Roll on the power. Ooh, Dodge gets very uncomfortable on the exit. That's going to help us with another couple of tenths. Great guy into the pits. He's going to come back out. New fastest lap of the day. A 1:37.47. Rather happy with that. So the great guy's used all 3 sets. Don't know if anyone else has though. We might actually be able to close up on him then, depending on how his tyres are looking in the last couple of laps here. So perhaps, yeah, the battle for P2 is still on. So we're just still trying to close up on 1 Dodge Viper. It could be 2 Dodges versus ourselves on the final lap of this race. We just need to try and get within that 1 second margin of the Viper here. Really just trying to clip those apexes as best as we can. There we go, the gap is 1 second. We're now under that 1 second margin. So we should hopefully be just getting a little bit of a faint draft off the back of that Viper. Chuck it in to that pep, and that's definitely where we're making up a fair bit of time on this guy just in front of us. We're already in 10th off our PB still at the moment, so the tyre's hanging on in there rather nicely at the moment. But leader in once again. Is he going to go on to hards? No, he didn't have enough fuel to get to the end by the looks of it, so perhaps we did have to use all 3 sets. I'm really not too sure at this stage. We've used the softs, we've used the hards. Should have used the mediums, but we're going to try and battle it out for a podium place on the road. 1.3 laps worth of fuel. We're in the slipstream, but are we going to get an after-race pen? Have I messed up the strategy? We really should have researched this beforehand, but it is going to be a learning curve nonetheless here. Down in towards turn 1. Ooh, bit of a wobble. Dodge, though, still making a couple of mistakes just up in front of us. We're still both taking time out of P2, though, as we head through the kink for the final time here in this race. Get a nice drive off the exit. We're 6 tenths back as we head down the hill. We try and keep it nice and tidy here. Roll the car in, trying to be smooth, trying to still though work the rubber, work those fronts to the best of their ability. We've got a good run on the Viper. We might be able to go for a bit of a send. Intrigued to know if he's going to go defensive. Honestly, he's going to sit and just go a little bit defensive. We'll try and get the cut back on him on the exit. And that's exactly what we've done. Going to try and work our way to the inside. It hasn't gone well for us already in this race when we've gone side by side through here. And again, it hasn't quite gone well for us, but this time around we don't get collected by a car behind. We're not going to give up on it just yet. We're going to see if we can force an error in towards the final corner of this race. We're going to show the nose, force him defensive as we head into the final turn. Oh, he just sits. He just gets lucky there, slides out in front of me on the exit there, and at the final corner it is only going to be P4 on the road. Are we going to get an after race penalty though? Let's find out. I don't think it's looking good. Yep, it's a minute pen. I didn't really realise it was that bad, so we ballsed up the strategy in the end, but still a rather fun race. Nonetheless, there you go. Gutted with that at the end of the day, but we'll wait and see as to where we finish. Nonetheless, there, that was, yeah, definitely you want to make sure you use all 3 sets of tyres. Had I known it was a minute, I would have definitely pit in again at the end of the day there, so rather disappointed with my own stupidity on that one, but it's a learning experience nonetheless. How many drivers didn't make it to the flag? 4 DNFs. 1 Porsche, 1 McLaren, 1 Aston, and 1 AMG as well. So I'm going to guess we're going to be about sort of P13 perhaps in this race when all is said and done. We didn't actually get any on the road penalties there. But yeah, down to P12. How many more are we going to lose still in this race? Could we hold on to P12 in the end perhaps? Yes, we just hold on to P12 by 72 thousandths of a second there in the end. So P12 at the end of the day, rather did butcher our strategy in the end there. But it was a good fun race nonetheless. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. And yeah, we will be back hopefully with round 2 of the season. We'll be back in the GT4s. I'm not too sure though where we're racing.